Hey guys, this is Bubblegum Combo and I'm bringing you a rather unusual video today. I wanted to talk about why nobody can beat Conor Mcgregor in the UFC, how to beat him, and how you can apply these real-life fighting principles into video games, specifically League of Legends, and how to win your lane. So let's start off with the legendary Conor McGregor. McGregor's victories are no secret. He has a plan, he sticks to the plan, and he does it near flawlessly. He has complete control over the fight and makes you play his game. His secret is simple. He learns his striking range, he learns his opponent's range and limits, and then he maintains that range, always ready to either attack, defend, or counter. What makes McGregor an incredible fighter is that he can consistently apply his strategy, has awesome reflexes, and he hits hard. So he's pretty much a badass. I'm going to be using his most recent victory against Alvarez for my references, and if you go back and watch the fight after this video, you'll see the principles I'm talking about at work. So let's lead with the basic principles. He starts his fight by sizing up his opponent, and most fighters do this is no surprise. He'll see what range he can land his punches and kicks from, but he'll also size up his opponent to see what range he can get hit by, and he'll play within that range. You'll notice he's usually either just outside of that critical strike zone or ready to lean back and avoid it. Something you'll see him do is he'll kind of paw and grab at his opponent, and the reason he does this is in order to maintain and check that critical strike zone I mentioned earlier. Keep in mind, a limb can either attack, defend, or be at a resting state. If an opponent's hand is out, then it has to go back before it's able to strike again and vice versa. Here's a great example of that. He's established his range and is waiting to make a move. Alvarez overextends and reaches for a punch. McGregor has already established that he is out of the range for any attack, so he doesn't even need to lean back here. As his opponent whiffs his punch, McGregor counters, and this is basically what the whole fight is. You gotta play your lane like Conor McGregor. You gotta size it up, know your limits, wait for the opportunities, catch your opponent off guard, and strike. Bam! And here's what it looks like in League of Legends. Catch him out of position, know your limits, go in, attack, reset, get ready for the next move. So once again he resets, checks his distances, and shocker, guess what he's gonna do again? He checks his opponent's limits, he knows he can hit him, he knows he can avoid a hit. He waits to see what happens, he starts grabbing, nothing seems to be happening, so he's gonna have to be the one to make a move. And as you can see, skill shot fired, exchange, rinse and repeat. I mean, I can keep showing you replays over and over again. Check his distance, check the opponent's distance, wait for an opportunity to strike, grab and paw, make sure you're safe, and boom. Go back and watch the fight, really, that's all he does. And same things apply in League of Legends. Look, you know your opponent's going to miss your skill shot, you're outside of that range, and you get ready to counter. But I want to look at that again. Freeze frame right here. He doesn't throw the next punch. He has it ready, but he's waiting, decides not to, and resets. This is something League of Legends players do, where they get greedy, they get excited, they keep pushing, they go in for more, and then they end up overextending and losing the fight or just end up dying. So here's a great example of me saying exactly what I said not to do. I'm playing against bots, I'm cocky, it doesn't matter. I see Zillion out of place, I didn't know you could knock people through walls, but going in for the kill with a Kali. She starts running away, she ends up dying, but Zillion doesn't, so we continue the chase, and I say, of course I can kill him, get that extra shot, I missed my cue, here's where I should have backed off. I keep chasing, I land a stun, I get exhausted, he gets the bomb, and even then I don't stop and I keep chasing. I make every wrong move possible. I could have flashed and hit him with my ram in a different direction, but case in point, you don't overextend. You need to reset, hit your marks, get out, play your game. You shouldn't be chasing after people, chasing after objectives, forcing yourself to do things you can't do. And McGregor doesn't do that. He plays his game. He keeps you within his range. He makes sure he can avoid shots. He makes sure he can land his shots. And that's what people need to do in League. If you watch the pros, you'll notice that they constantly roam. You know, they push their lane in, they get to a point, and once they see themselves overextending and they're susceptible to a gank, they stop, they roam, they walk that gank path. They go to help their teammates in other lanes, and they push together as a team. But, you know, again, go watch the fight, but you'll see it's okay to miss your shots. They're swinging at each other, they're learning each other's range, they're learning each other's distances, but McGregor dominates it. And this is what the pros do too. Enemy walks into range, skill shot. Enemy comes in to try and last hit, maybe start a little poke war. And here's the winning combination. The best comparison is like, wait for them to fire their ult, and once they miss, they got nothing left, and you got everything lined up. Go in, do it, finish it, close it. You don't always have to be the aggressive initiator. You can wait for your time to strike. So the basic formula is you size up your opponent, you learn your limits, you learn their limits, you see exactly how far you can go, and then you bring it back a little bit and you play in there, you play in that zone. When you see an opportunity to strike, you do. If you counter, then that's even better, you push hard. And then you just reset and do it all over again. Play your game, be Conor McGregor in your lane. The rest of this is pretty much going to be my rant on how to beat McGregor. There's a whole psychological aspect to why everyone keeps trying to beat him at his own game, squaring up right up against him, as opposed to trying taking him down, exploiting his weaknesses. But in order to beat McGregor, you gotta get out of that range. You either gotta get inside of that range or get back out of that range. You cannot stay in that range, and that's what all these fighters are doing. Can you imagine if one guy runs in, I mean, go watch the fight again, there's a moment where they hug and kiss a little bit, but imagine if anyone with some BJJ experience goes in, gets in, takes McGregor down, mounts him, keeps him on the ground, burns him out, they make it to round 3, who's going to win that fight? You guys might be expecting more on how to beat McGregor, but it's not too hard. I mean, he's an incredible fighter, his skills are awesome, his reflexes are incredible, he's very talented, and he's also just kind of like this raw, primal fighter. It's not like he necessarily sticks to like a form of fighting. He's kind of like this beast gets unleashed when he fights. How this all correlates to League of Legends, again, is you set your lane, you play your game, you don't overextend, you don't keep pushing, you don't have to necessarily run in and take first tower. You learn what your opponent does, like if it's a Zyra, you know, you just can't run in, but wait for her to shoot her plants off. After they're done doing their thing, she's vulnerable. Run in, then do your stuff. If you're a Jhin, you know, like you got that incredible range, then easy. But you know, the awkward thing a lot of like low elo players do that I see, I mean, I haven't even played rank, but what I've noticed is they get scared. They see the plants and then they run away, or they run in just enough to keep getting poked until it's too late, and then they try and run away, but no one commits. And what McGregor would do in his lane is he would either just continue to run through the plants and go for his target. He's already made the decision that he's going to do that. Or B, stay back, kill the plants, and wait for your next opportunity to strike. A lot of times we just rush into fights not knowing what's going on, who's got what skill on cooldown, and we just kind of hope for the best and unload. But that doesn't usually work. So imagine a world where you wait for cooldowns, you wait for that burst to come off, you survive it, you're with your team, and then you go on the counterattack. Or imagine if you know that they're going to initiate and you just go through that, you're ready, you have your QSS, and you just completely foil their plans. These are the kinds of things the pros do. These are the kinds of things Conor McGregor would do if he played League of Legends. I don't want to spend too much time on this video, but if either one of these aspects is interesting to you, I would love to make another video. Just leave it in the comments. The thumbs up are a good way for me to understand what you guys like, or thumbs down if you just hate it. So appreciate the feedback. Feel free to subscribe. I'm Bubblegum Combo. Peace out.